Ah. Oh, it stinks in here. Doofus has been in, my stepbrother, and he's dropped one, hasn't he? He's... Oh, what's the smelliest 3 letters in the alphabet? IBS. Irritating bowel syndrome. That's what Doofus has got. His dad's got it as well, so it runs in his genes. Right, a lot of people's been in problems with rocks, right? So I thought I'll do a rocks video. Right. This is for you, John. Hope you're watching. There's been a few people struggling with rocks. Right. So let's have a go. Dedicating this one to my mate John. So I'm just mixing up some brown, bit of Payne's grey, whatever colour you'd be using in your pictures, just whatever colour you'd have in your background, you'd tend to try and use them sort of colours. But for this, I'm using Payne's grey and Bont Umber mixed, so it's like a really dark colour. I might stick a bit of this cobalty blue in there and all that, so that's nice. Right, so, what I've done here, if you imagine, that's some grass there, and then I've penciled in some rocks, so there'll be some white highlights, then I've put some light greens at bottom, and I'll scratch up some grasses. So, right, I've got an old card, just a plastic card. I think the trick is to go fast, because if you go fast your paint don't dry. And another probably trick really is this. If you can see here, I don't know if you can see how wet my brush is. It's sort of, there's quite a thick paint on there, like, I don't know if you can see that. Can you see how thick that paint is? There's a little pool at the bottom, but it's quite a thick paint. So there, and stick it in like that. But say, let me do it with another brush, because I've got that one sort of perfect. Say if I did that, just use this brush. Say if I did that with a really runny paint, if I did that, this is a really runny paint now. Say if I did that with a runny paint, it's not going to scrape. It has a bit, but not as good. Yeah, there's not much contrast. But with thick paint, look, what happens, pop one in there, look like that. Get that in there, and then say there and there. What it does, it pulls all the paint to a, so you get a highlight there where it scrapes and a low light there. And then if you want, you can stick some more. Quite a lot of artists go in and pop in some more low lights after and come round stuff like that, but you can do that. But this is all just up to you in your painting, what you're looking at. See there, sometimes you can do bits of squiggles like that, and some bits look like rocks without you even having to do your scraper, and then what don't look like rocks, you can get in with your scraper. So like some of these look like rocks already. Looks like there's already some highlights on some of this stuff. I'll tell you another little trick as well. Say you're doing some rocks and you want a random effect. All these rocks probably landed around Earth after an ice age. I don't know if they did or not. I'm sure I heard that somewhere. So if they did, which they might not have done, then they landed random. No one's put them in a special place, just landed random. So a good way to get random effects is just go dead quick, and then you get a random effect. Quite often a random effect will look better than a purpose one. Right, anyway, so there, put some green in around, so there's some white there for an highlight, green at the bottom, so when I scratch my grasses in, that'll look green. Right, so I'll tell you what, let me just show you this. If you look here, look, this, don't know if you can see, sort of moist. That is. Right, put that back. There, right. So I'll try and keep my hand that way so you can see what I'm doing. So on this, look, just put a blob in there like that, look. I'm in there, so like that, right. And then that's what I'm doing, look. Just, can you see that? Just scraping like that. And then put some grasses in at the bottom. And where that green stuff is, got my little low lights for my grasses. Do this little one here, look. I'll leave a bit of an highlight on that one. I've left a bit in my sand. Oh, that in there. Scrape across. This one here. And that one there. Come down a bit lower because I'm going to scrape some grasses in. See what I'm doing? Card there, look. Scrape across. Scrape across. And then pop some grasses in. Because I've gone that yellowy colour underneath, you can pop your grasses in with your nail. Fingernail works good. Because I've got this green at the bottom, the green showing through, and the white at the top, look. One more. Leave a slight line on that, look, an highlight line. There we are. So we're not scrape, we're leaving a gap at the bottom, see what I mean? Some more grasses in there, corner of the card, leaving a gap at the bottom for the dark bit. See how I've gone to there and then left a gap, gone to there and then left a gap. Right, so like this here, I'll do this as a brick wall, right? So I've left the whites for all the highlights, and then I'll come a bit lower, I'll make that into my grass at the bottom. Okay, just dab in, mix a bit more paint. Right. So best thing to do is do it fast. So if you're not quite dead fast, then just do half and then do other half. Then you know it's not your paint. You don't want your paint to dry on you. Whatever you do, you don't want your paint drying. So you're there, and then I can pull in some grasses there like that. So you could even do that, look, a little bit at the top, get it in, then put some more in. You leave little gaps, and you get really white highlights as well. And put these in quick, just using corner at brush. Sometimes you go in like that, sometimes you go in flatter like that, depending on how big you want them. Scratch some grasses in bottom, look, like that. And then another thing you can do, get your rigger onto my knees and you can just pull some grasses in like that and all if that wants, like that, and then you can go, this works well especially in a wall, and get some, say, get some little around some of these rocks here, look, some dark lines around the eye line, the highlights and some low lights in there like that. And don't go mad, don't do every little bit. You're doing this in yellow in between some of them bits there. Get some more grasses in. See what I mean? So you can have some grasses, you can leave some bits like that to look like little rocks, some grasses in. So that's like a little rock wall there. I've done some great big rocks here. Say like, I don't know, say you had some grass there and a yellow, red and blue sunset up here. Might look nice to have the yellow, red and blue in your rocks. So this be three great big massive rocks here. Where's my brush gone? There. So I'll just mix some more paint. Three great big ones. There we are, that's one. Pop it straight in. There we are. Two. There's some little rocks underneath here like that, look. Two. So, and you can put some darks back in if you want, some low lights and stuff. If you want to, it's up to that. It's up to that. You know. You can do this if you want. More grasses in. Some long ones. Put some little pebbles and stuff in at the bottom if you want. But there, can you see them colours in there underneath? So you get some colours into your rock. So you can use any colour you want. You could use a creamy colour. You could leave the white for an highlight. I've done another brick wall here. I've got some colours in the bottom where your greens and your mosses would be, and some whites at the top where my highlights is going to be. So just do that. See, I tell you what I'm going to do. I'll stick some green paint in this and all for like a mossy coloured rock. So stick some green in it. So I've got Bond Umber, Payne's Grey, tiny bit of yellow, tiny bit of blue for the green. Right, watch this. Boom, 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 boom. So that's a nice greeny colour there. Some rocks across the top there, smaller ones in there. Back to more of a browny black now, just to vary it. I'll come all across the top. Sometimes on these top bits you get some what sort of come down like that more. That's it. And then back into a bit more green for some more moss. And in these bits here, you quite often get more littler ones like that. Leaving a few little gaps in my sand as well. Look. Working fast. Put these in pretty quick so you get that variety. Well, come down to the bottom now. Got some grassy bits in, look. Bottom bit. There we are. More rocks in there. Down to the bottom. And some grasses in there. So you can see I'm scraping like that. Scraping the colour out. There. So I mean, there we are. See what I'm going to do. Right, just looking at this here. Brush hasn't been washed out. Naughty, you gotta wash your brushes in. Right, just looking at that there. Let's get a blue colour. This is a bit off subject now because I just noticed this. A blacky, bluey colour. That's nice. Just noticed this. I should check that. Checking it on some scrap paper. I just noticed this and I thought, looks a bit like a little waterfall there. So there we are. A little waterfall. There we are. Some rocks around a waterfall there. See? Rocks in there, some bits up there. Dee. Some grasses. Some grasses in there. Around that waterfall. Here we are. A tree there. One there. Oh. Put a little waterfall in. Looks a bit mental, but there we are. So that's your Ego at doing rocks. Got a little abstract painting going on there and all that. It's a little abstract painting. Like I say, you can come in, you can add some darks in like that. You can get the rigger brush I've lost. Where's that gone? It's there. Hiding. Come here. Get your rigger brush. This works good in walls. And you can pop some little low lights in. Like that. It's like that. If you're not quite white enough, you can just get some gouache squash and add a bit of white back in. It's a Wilgie lobster in it. Tell you what, let's put Peter and Paul in there. Peter and Paul looking for some worms there. Right, that's it. Little video on rocks. In it, city on beach. Boom Shangri-La.